On October 1st, 1969, as his father and brothers were being shuffled from one hotel to another by the Motown brass, it was decided that Michael Jackson would move in with Diana Ross in her Hollywood Hills home. It was a calculated thing. I want him to be around her, Barry Gordy explained. People think it was an accident that he stayed there. It wasn't. I wanted Diana to teach him wherever she could. Dana's a very influential person. I knew that Michael would pick up something just by being around her. Dana had said that he sort of reminded her of herself at age 11. Michael was anxious and interested, as well as talented. Like Diana was, even when I first met her, she was 16 then. I asked her if she minded that she didn't. She wanted him around. It was good for her to have something else besides herself to think about. It was just for 4 weeks, the month of October. As much as she may have wanted to help, Dana was so consumed by the demands of her own career, she probably wasn't prepared for the role of surrogate mother. Still, she gave it everything she had, treated Michael like a son, and became attached to him. However, Michael's lifestyle in the Ross household must have seemed to be everything he had been brought up by his mother to shun as wicked. Nothing else really mattered in these surroundings, it seemed. But show business, you are going to be a great, great star. Diana will remind him over breakfast. Now eat your cereal. Though Diana remained at home through the month of October, she is extremely busy. She was about to leave the Supremes and embark on a solo career. Meanwhile, she and Barry were having a tumultuous romance. Michael no doubt heard many arguments between the couple, and then probably watched as they smiled and cooed at one another for the sake of reporters. He was learning a lot about show business, public relations, but only time would tell how he would be affected by it. Michael attended school during the day and recorded this in the studio until late at night, but has noted that during the period he lived with Diana Ross, she found time to teach him about art. We'd go out, just the two of us, and buy pencils and paint. Michael wrote of his time with Diana in his autobiography. When he weren't drawing or painting, we'd go to museums. Michael's fascination with Diana, some would later see it as an obsession, would last for many years, as well as a mother figure when his own was dozens of miles away. She was an accomplished performer. He saw her constantly. I remember I used to just sit in the corner and watch the way she moved, he recalled of Diana. She was art in motion. Have you ever seen the way she worked? Her hands? I was. He struggled for the right word, and enthralled by her. All day long when I wasn't rehearsing my songs, I'd be listening to hers. I watched her rehearse one day in the mirror. She didn't know I was watching. I studied her. The way she moved, the way she sang, just the way she was. Afterward, I told her, I want to be just like you, Diana. And she said, you just be yourself and you'll be a great star. Michael, at age 11, did have some lonely moments living in the Ross home. While she was away at work, he missed his brother and talked to his mother on the telephone constantly, running up Diana's phone bill. Catherine was troubled by Michael's life during that time, according to one family friend, a woman who asked for immediately because she has something in whom Catherine still confides. Kitty truly was concerned by Diana Ross's lifestyle and how it might influence her son, said the friend. She didn't want her son to be corrupted by Dana or her show business circle of friends. Also, she knew very little about Diana. She knew her as a star with a reputation for being egotistical and self involved. The whole time Michael was away from her, Carrie would only imagine what was going on in the Ross household and how Michael was coping with that. Her imagination ran wild. It was a time of great concern, wondering what kinds of values Dana Ross was passing on to her son. Perhaps making matters more difficult for Catherine, Dana seemed reluctant to talk to her directly. When Catherine would telephone to check in on Michael, she would have to talk to one of the household staff if Michael wasn't available. Dana would usually not come to the phone. If Catherine was distressed about the possibilities of wild parties at the Diana Ross residence, she need not have been. Dana was a serious person, not a party girl. She would go to bed early in order to keep on time for her many appointments. If anything, she passed on to Michael a work ethic that would serve him well as a youngster. She wanted to be an example to him, and she was sure to not allow him to see anything but her best side. I got to know her well, Michael would say many years later, and she taught me so much by example. I remember she would be in the recording studio until all hours of the morning. Go home, have a costume fitting, a rehearsal, lunch, a TV show, and then she would practice for maybe 2 hours. Then back in the studio, I remember thinking, I don't have it bad at all. Look at her. She's Diana Ross.